You know, guys, since MW 2019 Part 2 is launched, I don't think I've actually made a single video where I was actually like 100% upset or angry or mad. There's definitely been times where I've been mad and annoyed, but more often than not, I'm just kind of making fun of the devs or trolling Activision or just talking smack to the fanboys and stuff like that. It's honestly pretty rare for the developers or the publishers over at Activision to do something, or in this case, to not do something specifically, that's actually going to aggravate me or frustrate me or outright feel disrespected on behalf of a lot of other people in the community. And what I mean by that is Activision needs to address false bans. Again, obviously there's been problems with Ricochet's anti-cheat. You know, there's the common problem, at least back then, where there's a blatant cheater in your game who should absolutely be banned. And then there's the problem of people just making spoofers and just making new accounts and still being able to access the game and still just ruin the experience for everybody. But even going back to the beta of this game back in like September, there was a little bit of an issue going around where people were getting falsely banned. Now, I understand the whole stigma behind, oh, you're saying you got banned? Well, that must be because you're cheating. And trust me, that is a perfectly understandable viewpoint on this, because more often than not, especially prior to this, people who were complaining about getting banned, they were actually cheating. Well, fast forward to the beta of this game and even the early access campaign for this, I started seeing a lot of people reporting that they were getting falsely banned. And of course, my first reaction was, hey, well, maybe you shouldn't cheat. Well, when I started looking a little bit further into it, I started seeing this really weird pattern, especially with the campaign early access, where people were crashing, and that was a very common issue for this game, and even until now, people are still crashing. It's very common to crash in this game. By the way, that's also an issue. But as a side effect to their game crashing, they were also being banned. Now, I need you guys to understand something. It is possible for somebody to have cheated in the campaign of this game. Why would you ever go to that length? I don't know. There had to have been somebody who's done it, and to that person, you're a fucking idiot. But to the countless other people who have experienced the exact same thing where their game crashed and then they were also banned as a side effect, eventually that coincidence becomes a pattern. Then I heard that some of these people had their accounts unbanned and that the false ban was reversed, which is a good thing. And so I didn't really pay attention to it all that much. Well, recently, there's been quite a few people, not only in my comments, but all over Twitter and even in my DMs, asking me to at least look into this and give it some sort of light, because this whole false ban shit is still an issue. Now you're just messing with people's money and you're not even allowing them to get back into the game when they're falsely banned. I cannot prove that there's this many people who are legitimately false banned. What I can tell you is this has never been this big of an issue before. Not previously in Call of Duty's history, not since Warzone 1, not since Ricochet was developed. This is a very recent problem. And for this many people to be reporting it, even if it's not true, and I want to make this very clear, even if not every single person is telling the truth about being false banned, there are so many people reporting it that Activision should at least address it. Put out a statement saying one of three things. You can either tell the community to go fuck themselves, which I wouldn't be surprised. You can tell the community the likely truth in which some people are being falsely banned and that some sort of change will happen eventually. Or you can say, hey, this is the first that we've heard of this problem, which is fucking cap, and simply say, we'll start investigating it. Because it's not like 5 people talking about this, it's not 10 people, it's not 100 people. I have legitimately seen hundreds of reports from different people on how they've been falsely banned. A lot of them showing the exact same pattern where they've only been playing for like 15-20 minutes, they only recently booted up the campaign, they only recently booted up multiplayer, their game crashed, and as a result, they were also banned. It's a lot of the exact same patterns. Now, obviously, again, I want to say it right now, there are some people who will say they're falsely banned when they're actually cheating. To those people, you're ruining it for everybody else because this is an actual problem. There's a bunch of people on Reddit specifically, on Twitter, and even on YouTube talking about how they're getting falsely banned, showing proof that they're not cheating, and Activision has not said a single public word about this. I assume this whole process is not quick, but the very least you can do is address it. I don't even think they're gonna bother watching this kind of video because, I mean, I've smeared them with my manure multiple times. I'm probably blacklisted by them at this point. But to everybody that's watching this video, if you ever come across somebody saying they were falsely banned, if you have the time and if you're willing to, look into it at least a little bit, because sometimes you will actually see the fuckery that is happening behind closed doors. Shit, I'll tell you guys right now, if I ever got falsely banned for crashing in the campaign, you guys, along with the devs, would not hear the end of that. You'd probably hear some of the angriest content you've ever heard in your lives, but this is the thing, is that it didn't happen to me. It hasn't happened to Exclusive Ace, it hasn't happened to Blame Truth, it hasn't happened to Thunder, it hasn't happened to any of these other people. It's happening to random casuals who don't really have a platform to talk about this kind of shit. So you can imagine how easily this is getting swept under the rug by Activision. Keep in mind, people are paying significant money for this game. Some of these people have bought the Vault Edition, some people got the Legacy Edition or whatever the fuck it's called nowadays. There are people who are putting down serious money for this game, get banned within 10-15 minutes from their game crashing, and all of that money just goes to waste. I don't know if they can get refunds, I'm pretty sure they can't. I heard the story of a person actually going to Activision's headquarters, requesting to talk to somebody about the false ban, and they were given some bullshit answer about you're just gonna have to wait it out and see if it happens. Also, I heard somewhere on Reddit there's somebody who is creating an actual lawsuit against Activision for all of the false bans. I don't know if it's an individual lawsuit just between himself and Activision, or if this is like a collective group of people. I'm not too sure on the details, so if anybody can link that to me, either on Twitter or in the comments, that would be greatly appreciated. But if it's getting to the point where people are filing lawsuits against Activision, do you think the average cheater out there is actually going this far out of their way just to get their account back? And trust me, there are cheaters out there who can find ways to get new accounts even after they've been permabanned. A lot of these people who are getting falsely banned and reporting it aren't going to those lengths. I gotta see if I can find the photo of this, but there was somebody who was falsely banned, or at least reported that they were falsely banned, and they were sent an email saying that they can no longer play MW 2019, Warzone Caldera, Warzone 2, or MW2 for cheating and for hacking. And to me, this is very odd because, alright, if they were actually cheating or hacking, then good, you should ban them. But why are they only being banned here and not on Cold War or on Vanguard? Does that make any sense? Because to me, it fucking doesn't. Look guys, there's a fat ass rabbit hole of this shit. And to be completely honest guys, I spent about an hour just reading through so many people reporting that they were falsely banned on Reddit, on Twitter, on YouTube. There is so much more that I haven't read. There is so many more people that are getting falsely banned, and granted, some of them do get their accounts back, which is great, but a lot of them don't. And again, it's a pretty difficult situation to look at because there's gotta be somebody out there, fucking Ballwarts223, who actually did cheat, got banned, and then reported that he was falsely banned. Of course, there's many people like that, and to those people, eat a fucking cock, you know? But I am extremely confident after some of the shit that I've seen that there are legitimate innocent people who are getting falsely banned, have no answer for it, and just lost over $70. And again, I'm not saying Activision needs to undo everything. I'm not saying Activision needs to develop something again. All I'm saying is they need to address it. Because even if 100% of the people who are reporting that they're falsely banned are all lying, which I completely doubt, Activision should honestly still address that even if that were the case. The thing is, there are innocent people that are getting banned, and Activision genuinely, with the exception of Bobby fucking Cosby, if they had a heart or an IQ above 2, simply do the right thing and type words. Say, hey everybody, we've seen so many reports of this, we'll start looking into it. Or if it's true that people are getting falsely banned, then put out a statement saying, we're working on a fix to this, please be patient. And that's as far as it needs to go. But if you stay silent and you do nothing about it, and there's people who are spending money on your game, and some of these people would probably spend even more money on your fucking bundles, and they can't even access the game, you'd be lying to yourself if you said that wasn't fucking bullshit. I have extremely low hopes for Activision, but the Scadmaster says, do the right thing. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. If you or somebody you know has been falsely banned, share your experience down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles. It's been a very